I don't like that view. Hi, everybody. That's better. Hey, everybody. Steve Melody from Christ Presbyterian Church in Tucson, Arizona. I'll give just a moment for our broadcast to be pushed out and notifications to be sent that I'm live online for another edition of Faith Filled Friday. Until then, take a look. All those beautiful clouds. Isn't Tucson beautiful? And isn't our church campus beautiful? Look, the roses have been blooming. There we go. Hey, everybody. It's Pastor Steve Melly from Christ Presbyterian Church in Tucson, Arizona. Welcome to another edition of Faith Filled Friday. It's kind of funny. It's starting to sprinkle rain right now. And actually, I had thought about what I wanted to talk to you about today in this edition of Faith Filled Friday, and it's the prayer for rain. Oh my goodness. We pray for rain here in Tucson, don't we? We need it. We need it badly. But I realize at the same time on a Friday afternoon of Labor Day weekend, I'll bet you somebody's praying it doesn't rain because they've got some sort of outdoor activity, maybe a wedding or some picnic they planned for the last big weekend before the summer finally ends. I was thinking about all of that because recently I had the opportunity to rewatch the movie Bruce Almighty, where the character Bruce gets all the powers of God, and he realizes that one of his jobs as God is to answer the prayers of people. And Bruce is inundated by the number of prayers for this, prayers for that, prayers coming in all at the same time, everybody praying to win the lottery, and how some people were praying for rain and some people were praying that it wouldn't rain. And I just think, wow, it must be overwhelming. One of the things I've really come to learn about what Jesus in his life teaches us is that famous prayer in the garden where he prays that all of this struggle and stuff would not come his way, that the cup would be taken away and passed from him. But he ends that prayer by saying, "Yet not my will, but yours be done." And I think today, of all the prayers for rain that are coming, and perhaps some prayers that it won't rain, and how disappointed we get sometimes when we don't get our way in prayer. God's got a lot on God's plate. And what I trust about God is that God knows what's best for all of us. And I know that sometimes in life that means it's going to rain, and that'll present a challenge to somebody. Or perhaps it won't rain, and that'll present a challenge to somebody. But one of the things we can do no matter what is trust God. We really can. Somehow in the end, God works it together and brings good for all of us. Whether you get what you want in prayer or not, whether God hears somebody praying for this particular outcome in a moment and somebody else is praying for this particular outcome in a moment, God figures it out. God figures it out. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful to know that God, the great creator of the universe, the redeemer of all our lives, the sustainer of who we are in spirit, is the one really in charge. So today, whatever it is you're praying for, pray it. It's okay to pray it. And then turn it over to God and God's will. And trust that somehow, whatever answer you get, whether it's the one you want or not, God is still working away in your life. They'll bring goodness and peace, because that's what God is all about. It's not always easy. I get that. But we can trust God and invite you to do so this weekend. Grace and peace to you this day, whatever it is you're praying for. This is Pastor Steve Meldy from Christ Presbyterian Church in Tucson, Arizona. Thank you for joining me for another edition of Faith Filled Friday. We'll be back next week.